Today it is a great honor and pleasure to welcome Dr. Konstantin Korotkov from Russia in our interview. We speak about water, life energy, and detoxification in any case, not just with the diagnosis of post-COVID and vaccine side effects. Dr. Konstantin Korotkov is a Russian scientist and retired professor of computer science and biophysics at St. Petersburg University, specializing in water and human energy systems research. He's renowned for his work on gas discharge visualization technology, which he uses to study the energetic properties of water. Korotkov has published over 400 scientific articles and holds 15 patents, including those for biophysical measurement methods applicable to water analysis. His studies emphasize the interactions between water, light, and biological systems, establishing him as pioneer in quantum medicine. He is the author of several books, including The Energy of Space, and has delivered lectures in over 50 countries worldwide. Welcome, Mr. Korotkov.
Hello. Yes, thank you.
So we have a red thread for our interview, and this is what results can be shown by the water approach and how can water bring illness and wellness, also from the perspective of molecular biology and quantum physics. So the process of structuring water with magnetic fields for detoxification and wellness, and how can EM, so electromagnetic radiation, be dangerous for the water in us, and what can we do to protect ourselves, for example, from electromagnetic radiation? Mr. Korotkov, maybe you can give us some orientation about what are the results about water approach. Why is it such a very specific matter that we can use in different ways?
Okay, yes, water is very unique substance on the Earth. Not only on the Earth, because we have abundance of water in the universe. We have water on all the planets of our solar systems. So, but water has unique properties which makes it different from all other substances. And water is alive. Water has memory. And now in science, we use these notions and we can define what does it mean. Water has its own structure. And now it's a lot of, I would say, scientific data on the structure of water. For many years, I participate in conferences on water physics, chemistry, and biology, where top leading scientists from all over the world meet together to discuss their research on water. And we have a lot of experimental data which demonstrate that water can have structure. So what does mean structure? It's not just in previous theories, which is some hexagonal or triangle or something of this kind. No, it is much more complex. Now we have theory based on quantum electrodynamics. And quantum electrodynamics is next step in the development of quantum physics. Quantum physics describes behavior of different molecules, of different atoms. But quantum electrodynamics describes the behavior of the complexes. For example, molecules in the air, in gas. Mm-hmm. It was developed by Richard Feynman. He was Nobel Prize winner, famous genius, real genius, American physicist, and he created this branch of science. Later on, two Italian physicists, again geniuses, Emilio del Giudici and Preparato, created quantum electrodynamic theory of water. Mm-hmm. And in the theory, they demonstrate that even without any influence, water has its own structure. What does it mean, structure? I give always very good example. Structure is water It is like couples in dancing hall. So we have music and people move in resonance. And it means they move differently. Every couple is different.
Yeah.
They all are in resonance with this music.
Yeah. Some can dance, some cannot dance. So it's
yes, absolutely. So it's not like in army regiment when all the soldiers make absolutely the same, or in ballet dance, again, when many dancers make absolutely same movements. No, it's dancing hall.
Yeah.
And as in dancing hall, we have big dancing hall when people are dancing. Nearby, we have hall where people are drinking. Next, we have hall where people are gambling. So it's all different area. Same in water. So we have areas of so-named coherent domain. All the molecules are in coherence, in resonance. And we have areas nearby which are not structured. And these areas of coherent domains may be created by different influences.
Okay.
It may be electromagnetic fields.
So there's a different music in this area, or how can we understand?
It may be a different sound influence, light influence, intention. Our human intention, we can create structure in water. And, late Masaru Emoto, he demonstrated this very well.
So let me summarize for me. So we have in chemistry, we are talking about molecules, and then we have the classical physics that is speaking about atoms. And then we have the quantum physics, and there you are saying it is not, we should not think about one fixed structure. It's all particles that are inside are moving, and they are, but you can see a coherence, yeah, so that this is dance. It's like a dance. That's a very nice picture. And and this dance can be disturbed by several disturbances, like electromagnetic or intention, for example.
No, they may not be disturbed, but they may be created.
Yes.
So in in normal conditions, it is areas that creates, then disappear, creates, disappear. As if like two couples start dancing somewhere on the street and then they go out.
Yeah.
In other place, some people dancing, then get out. Or little group of young people, they dancing on the square and then get out.
Okay.
So, but if we have influence, specific influence, as I told, maybe electromagnetic field, it may be sound, it may be light, it may be human intention. Then we have this area of coherence, they grow. So like more and more people are involved in this wonderful dance.
Okay.
I've seen these situations in China when there are thousands of people are dancing on big squares, just dancing. So this is really, we create big volume of water, we create in this coherence domain.
Yes.
And that's why we can tell that we structure this water.
Yeah.
And now we have instruments which allows us to study the structured water. It is maybe laser scattering special instrument. It may be our biowell system, biowell element we have the system. It may be some type of spectroscopy, infrared spectroscopy, which allows us to study those structures.
Yeah.
To prove that they are really, the water is really structured.
I think that's very difficult, isn't it? So there are not so many laboratories that can do that, isn't it?
First of all, only laboratory which they need to do it, they do it. Because you see, still we have, of course, many scientists who study water, but everybody has their own approach.
Okay.
So we have big group of scientists study the structured water, and even more than that, we have more and more practical applications for this. We have more and more companies, they produce devices to structure water.
So
Not
this is
in
with
chemical content, but to structure water.
Okay. So this is with your company BioWell, is it?
BioWell, yes. In BioWell company, we produce devices to study this, but we have another company joined with our colleagues from South Africa, where we preparing production of devices to structure water.
Okay.
Using magnetic fields and complexes. It's not unique because there are different companies, they produce this. And if you look to internet, you can find this different companies.
Yeah, and it's helpful for our human beings and also for plants, but what other practical fields is it used to?
First of all, it is useful for all biological substances. We test all our waters on sprouts. And we see difference in normal, non-structured water and in structured water. We see sprouts much bigger when they're fed by structured water. We can test this on animals. And we use mouses, we use cats. Cats, if you put them 3 different vials with different waters, they always choose structured water.
Okay.
And they prefer this water. Horses, again, another example, and of course people. We did very clear clinical study in our medical university. Where we had experimental group. First we had 60 people, then they were randomly selected to 2 groups. And one group, people was drinking structured water for 3 months. In another group, people was drinking normal water. Clear, good, but normal water. After 3 months, we were able to see tremendous effect on blood parameters, on heart rate variability, sympathetic parasympathetic balance, stress level, on energy level. So all the people who was drinking this structured water, they really improved their health. So it was.
Do you have this scientific studies are on your website, or where can we find that? Do you have it?
Of course, if you look to our website, biowell.com,
Biowell.
bio-well.com, bio-well.com.
Bio-well.com. Okay.
Then you find a lot of publications, and there are reference to other website, iomap.club, where we collect different publications, and you can find a lot of papers, even in particular papers published on the influence of water. We had it with normal population, we had it with athletes as well. And in all cases, it was demonstrated effect, statistically significant improvement.
Yeah.
So that is why, for example, I'm drinking structured water for maybe last 20 or 30 years.
Yes, you have published very much. Yeah. So what do you know about the illness and how to come again back to wellness? For example, when there's cancer, or if people have problems with their inflammatory.
I don't believe that you can have wonders with just only with water or with something. If people are developing some illness, it means they have this history of this illness. It means that all their life they develop this, or in their genetics, previous generations, in previous lives, developing, because we know that we have some group of genetically determined illnesses, and we have some illnesses due to environment, to bad habits, bad behavior, and we have some illnesses because of the age as well. So it is clear that no one substance or cure may make wonders. Only if we have complex approach. But in this approach, water should be obligatory. I can give a very clear example. One of our companies we work with, they brought structured water to cancer child's hospital. And children, during chemotherapy, they had this structured water. And they passed this chemotherapy treatment much better than in ordinary conditions. They practically didn't have vomiting, they didn't have nausea. So for them, it was much, much easier to have treatment. That's why we suggest and we offer all people who have these serious illnesses use this structured water. It's very, very helpful. But again, it's not a cure by itself.
So how is structured water, what can it do? Because when it's going into cells, is it cleaning the cell, or what do we have to think about the positive effects?
We are 85% of water. We have not only blood and lymph and urine as liquids, we have liquids in all the cells and all tissues of our body. Because all our cells, they operate in water and through water. So, but this water should be structured. So all biological substances, they transform their water to structured water. So when we drink ordinary water, system needs some energy to transform it. Of course, this water should be clean. Of course, this water should have no impurities. It's absolutely clear. But when we drink structured water, this water comes directly to our cells. And our cells benefit from using this structured water. So that is why, and it's not only human beings.
So how is it happening? Why is the cell, why is it helping the cell? Maybe especially into the context of detoxification? Or what is water doing in the cell?
You see, water in any system, water is, first of all, it's nutrition. It's our main nutrition. In all our operations come through water. And that's why, you know, that it's possible to live without food for some time, but it's not possible to live without water. Because all the biochemical processes in our body comes with participation of water. And when it is clustered water, it comes much more efficient from quantum point of view than from non-clustered water. Because system consume this structure. And it is related to plants, it is related to animals, it is related to humans. So of course, it's very complex biophysical mechanisms, and I'm not ready to give you exact description of biochemical reactions of this type, because it's quantum physics. Because our system, it is based on quantum principles. It is because we have electrons, we have photons, we have exchange of quantum system. It's any mitochondria, our energy our generators, mitochondria, and it's all based on quantum processes.
It's bosons, yeah?
No, not bosons. Forget about bosons. So it's enough for us to be based or to be on the level of electrons and photons. That's enough. We don't need to go deep into this particle physics. But even at this level, of course, you should be very, very high-level scientist. Now we have quantum biology, and this is new branch of biology, which combines the quantum principles and it applies it to description of biological process.
And does it has to do with the load of electrons that structured water is changing something into cells, so that this is that the cells feel easier to transform in this context, or what is the benefit out of that? Why is it
benefit? Of course, for the cells, it's much easier to have this process of exchange with their environment, because you know that every cell should consume these positive elements and protect from intruders, from parasites, from viruses, and this it's impossible without water, and it is much more efficient with structured water. So we are based on experimental data. So we, based on our clinical studies, we demonstrate everything on clinical studies. And we are based on agriculture, we are based on farming, where it was very clear demonstration, and of course, now hundreds of papers published on this topic. In the latest review that was published this year, 2025, by a group of scientists, it was hundreds of references that give description how structured water can operate in different areas. And it was shown tremendous beneficial effect.
Yeah, I would like to give our viewers, our followers, an idea. Do you have an example how detoxification is happening in the cell? In what cases was this tremendous difference?
You see, our body, our cells need to detoxify because the process of everyday activity, they produce a lot of some residuals, and they need to be cleaned from the body. So, and we have two main areas of cleaning. We have our urine. We have a sweat that allows to clean something. We have, of course, more complex waste. But to have this efficient, we need that all the water in our system would become in contact with every cell. That's why when people have not enough water in their system, cells doesn't have carrier to get rid of this. So it's like a river that comes through the garbage and clean this out. Same we have in our system. And this river should flow around all our cells. Only then we have cleansing, same including our brain, of course. It's very important to have this for the brain.
So water is also going through the brain blood area?
Yes, of course.
Yes. So it's also cleaning when difficulties are there in the brain. And do we know about, for example, aluminium? Can structured water clean this out by aluminium out of cells?
No. That's a different story, totally different story. All heavy metals that people have in their bodies, they can't be cleaned so easily. We need much more complex methods. We need some specific, I would say, remedies to clean it. We can use, for example, in Russia it's very popular, we can use leeches, the little animals that can clean it. But of course, it's a very complicated system. And it's very special detoxification process is very special. And there are many different methods of how can detoxify your liver, your kidney, but it's not only water. It's much.
So water is a carrier of information, we say, and information is like a special dance rhythm that is in the cell. And so we can, of course, if we are thinking something positive, if we are concentrate on a positive attitude and we trust in love and thankfulness, for example, like the Buddhistic principles or also the Vedic principles and also Christian, of course. So we have this, when we have this attitude, our water, we can understand this is a special dance that is in our cells by that.
Yes, you're absolutely right. So if we have positive intention, if we send this intention to water or food, that's why it was always in all the countries, it was a ceremony of blessing the food. And it's not just imagination. In the modern experiments, we can demonstrate transformation of structure, of water, of some liquids under the influence of this blessing, not even food as well, because we have in our bioelement system, we can study food. And it is shown this process of transformation. So that is why we need to understand that positive intention is positive effect on all biological stuff. Negative intentions, they give negative.
Mhm.
and they can have negative influence. We know this from our life, everyday life.
Mhm.
Body has its own experience, and that's we need to keep in our mind.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, thank you. So we need, it's also in the structure, and I think you are also working on biophotons, right?
Yes, of course, of course.
So biophotons, is this a value for valueness of health cells or of health of food, for example? Would you say like that?
Yes, so we emit photons. This is
Mhm.
natural process.
Mhm.
It's possible to study these emitted photons
Mhm.
by very sensitive photon counters, but
Mhm.
totally in total darkness, it's very complicated, and those instruments are quite expensive. In our system, BioWell, Gaseous Charge Visualization System, but when the latest instrument is BioWell, we study photons extracted from the biological substance in electromagnetic fields.
Mhm.
It is very complex technology. It is known for 200 years now.
Mhm.
Not our invention. It was known long before in
Mhm.
18th century, 19th century. It
Mhm.
was people have been using photography, Kirlian
Yeah,
photography.
Killian photography, yes. Mhm.
So we transformed it to modern digital technology.
Yes. Mhm.
We developed these instruments based on quantum physics,
That is
electron.
also a patent of you, yeah, right?
Yes, yes, several. I have 15 patents for this.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, and of course, image processing.
Mhm.
So we use now we use artificial intelligence for this, but we have many algorithms based on, and in analyzing of human beings, for example, we are based on ideas of traditional Chinese medicine and traditional Ayurvedic medicine.
Oh, interesting.
Of
Yeah.
course, yes, because all it is proven.
Mhm.
We study information from our fingers, but
Mhm.
it's based on holographic principles of
Mhm.
body organization.
Mhm.
You can study iris,
Mhm.
see a lot of information. Now it's medical technology. You
Mhm.
can study ear,
Mhm.
and you see there are many points that clever doctors can measure. We can
Mhm.
use acupuncture points.
Mhm.
So we are based on the same principle. We study light
Mhm.
coming from our fingers in
Mhm.
electromagnetic field,
Yeah.
and based on these holographic principles, on ideas of traditional Chinese medicine, of ideas of meridians,
Mhm.
ideas of chakras,
Mhm.
Ayurvedic medicine, we
Mhm.
extract a lot of information.
Mhm.
And now we have several thousand papers published by different doctors,
Mhm.
researchers in different countries worldwide,
Mhm.
which prove this approach and
Yeah.
this efficiency of this approach.
What can be seen when an electromagnetic field like the phone, our there's a radiation happening very much to people, to human beings, and all, but also other beings like the bees. Yeah, that the bees have the problem to find their way, and so some people are saying that this problem is coming also from radiation. So, what is your experience with electromagnetic fields, radiation, to photons, and also to water structure?
First of all, now we have the clear notion of electromagnetic energy.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some percentage of people, not 100%, but percentage of people who are very sensitive to electromagnetic fields.
Mm-hmm.
It is they're sensitive to Wi-Fi, they're sensitive to Bluetooth, and they, of course, it's normal allergy.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are sensitive to some smells,
Mm-hmm.
some substances, molecules. Some people sensitive to electromagnetic fields. Because we know that with electromagnetic field, we change the structure of water. We make it more coherent if it's appropriate influence, but if it's I would say chaotic fields
Mm-hmm.
surrounds us, it can make water more chaotic to destroy its coherence.
Mm-hmm.
So depending of how structured water. So
Mm-hmm.
it means that this water is good, still good. If it's good water with good chemical content, It's still good water. You can drink it, but it's not so efficient as structured water. And of course, we feel this influence because we are very sensitive. Some people more, some people less, depending, of course, on your health, on your background, on your station, on your stress level at the moment. But it is no doubt that, for example, mobile phones has influence. No. Why now we have recommendations, World Health Organization, that you don't mobile phone nearby your head. Just use some remote systems.
Yeah.
You don't need to give it to children. You don't let them use this for a long time because it's all strong influence. And influence, no doubt. And we have many experiments of this kind that demonstrate this effect. It's huge bulk of published papers now on this topic. So at the same time, we understand that we live in this world. Everybody has mobile phone, so we need to protect ourselves. And there are two approaches to this protection. First approach is to increase your energy, increase your immunity, increase your life force. And this may be done by appropriate behavior in life, by movement, by activity, and by good water. Without good structured water
and good thought,
of course, yes. But another approach is to protect yourself. Now we have different systems of protection. Now we have companies that produce very good protection devices or some quantum cards. And if you use this card, if you use this system, then you protect yourself. You see, it's just cut like this.
Okay. And you wear it at your pocket or at your heart?
No, I keep it nearby my computer.
Okay.
It allows to protect, and they have different sizes, they have different systems, but of course it should be tested. With our BioWell system, which you can find in every country, now more than 80 countries worldwide, you can go to a BioWell practitioner, you can test yourself before using this protection and after this protection. And then immediately see whether it is efficient or not. The only way how you can prove it for yourself. Because one and the same system may be efficient for someone and have no effect on other people. So that's why we should be very, very careful. Because I'm sure there are a lot of rubbish on the market that have no effect at all.
Yes. So this is the cause why we are working, as we want to be a channel to make the pre-screening for experts, to validate some thoughts. And of course, you were very deep in the research and very deep into quantum physics also. And I think much has to do with our biology about physics and about the energy, what is running, and it's we are still in the typical physicians are still in the biology phase. Some went into chemistry, but no one was really going into physics. So there are only a few people that know about the new way of quantum medicine, and therefore we had some specialists also here in Germany in our interviews. So they could open a little bit a window about that. But thank you very much for your that you are showing us more about your work and also on the practical plane.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Of course, we have specialists, and it's very difficult to be a broad specialist in different fields. And if there are biologists or doctors, of course, they should be specialists in their own field. Only scientists like myself, we can go different areas. We are not dealing with patients, we're not dealing with people by itself, we deal with science. And that's why we can study plants, we can study animals, we can study people, we can study physical systems. So it's all scientific approach.
Is there a last message you want to give to our followers?
Yes, of course. The last message is as follows. We live in very difficult times, in very complex times. It's a time of total transformation of all our world society, of all our world structure. And in all the countries, we have problems. All the countries. I travel worldwide all the time, and I see there are no country that has no problem. In all the countries, we don't like our governments everywhere. That's again, we think that they do stupid things. And again, this is a part of our everyday life. But at the same time, we need to enjoy our life, because our life is tremendous experience. It's tremendous adventure. And if you have positive attitude to everything, first of all to yourself, and then to everything that you have around yourself, then you can make your life good. You can make it happy. You can make it full with different situations. And after every black time, we have white times. Every night, we have day. So we need to be optimistic. We need to believe in positive, and we need to create this positive by ourselves, for ourselves and for all the people who are around ourselves, and for our nature as well.
Yes, wonderful words. Dr. Korotkov, thank you very much for this, that you are inspiring us so much. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you. And I wish you all the best in your work. Okay, thank you. And bye-bye.